Imagine you went to a place where women were the majority, the owners and the leaders of the institution. A place with a rich history concerning female activism and leadership. A place where past and future prominent female leaders attend to equip themselves with the skills needed to take over the world. Also, a place where men are not allowed to enroll. That place is an all-women's college, and I attended one. This was my experience.
We're so happy, very pumped. We came in together, we're going out together.
I'm very thankful to be at Mount Holyoke College. It has served me so well and educated me in such an incredible way.
With the rise of all-women colleges in the 19th century, higher education was almost exclusively for men. Actually, it was exclusively for men. The first all-women colleges were almost all private liberal arts institutions or religious colleges. In addition to giving women who wanted a college education space to learn, women colleges also hired mainly female faculty members than co-ed colleges. More than 50 women colleges were established between 1836 and 1875. In 1836, Wesleyan College in Georgia opened its doors, becoming the first women's college in the world. The first women's colleges looked very different from the men's colleges. Driven by the fear that women would abandon 19th century femininity, all women colleges were created to be a controlled space. While men attended colleges that commonly had sprawling campuses built around a central green, women's colleges were often in a single building that kept students secluded from the community. The female seminaries of that time inspired that building design. Some of the most prominent early all-women colleges were called the Seven Sister Schools. These were a group of schools that began admitting students between 1837 and 1889. These colleges stood out for their commitment to high academic standards. Between the 1960s and the 2010s, the number of women colleges declined by over 80%. This drop was caused by many all-women's colleges closing down or shifting to a co-ed model. Vassar began admitting men in 1967. Sarah Lawrence College made the same decision a year later. Pitzer College in California and Wheaton College in Massachusetts also went co-ed in 1970 and 1988. The change from all-women college to co-ed wasn't always uncontested. When Mills College announced that it was going co-ed in 1990, the students and alumni revolted and made the college reverse its decision. In the 21st century, women's colleges make a small fraction of higher education. In 2012, higher education enrollments were over 1,158,000, and half of which consisted of women. That same year, all women college enrollment was just 58,000. However, compared to private co-ed schools, all women colleges report higher retention rates. Students at all women colleges have a higher chance of graduating within the 4 years than those who attend co-ed schools. And all women colleges report higher engagement numbers than co-ed schools. When it comes to granting STEM degrees, women colleges also outperform their co-ed counterparts. While 19% of women of color at co-ed liberal arts colleges pursue STEM degrees, 34% of women of color at women's colleges choose a science, technology, engineering, or mathematics bachelor's degree. Women college alumni are also more likely to pursue graduate degrees. Beyond the student body, women colleges offer leadership roles for women in academics. Women make up more than 60% of faculty at all women's colleges and 90% of college presidents. In comparison, women make up only 30% of college presidents nationwide. So what was my experience attending an all-women's college? It was great. During that time, I met my closest friends of all time. I was very supported by the math department, even though college was very difficult for me financially. I had a lot of access to my professors, and they were there to make sure that I was supported and I felt I could collaborate, discuss, even argue with them, and I was able to grow a lot during that time. To give some context, I attended St. Mary's College in Indiana. This is a small liberal arts Catholic all-women's college, and it's the sister school to the University of Notre Dame. During this time, I took my computer science courses at the University of Notre Dame. Therefore, I was able to experience life at a small Catholic all-women's college and also at a large co-ed school. So I got to experience football game days and every other thing that comes with attending a large school. And when I didn't want that, I could go back to my oasis of a smaller all-women's college. Because all-women colleges are smaller in size compared to other co-ed schools, the alumni network is very strong. I feel like all-women colleges understand that we have fewer people graduating, so there's an effort to make sure we can support people coming up behind us. Also, are there ever men on all-women college campuses? Well, sometimes. Because all-women colleges are often the smaller sister school to larger institutions, and often they have partnerships with colleges around the area, it is not uncommon to see men from those colleges come to attend classes at the all-women colleges. However, there is a very big difference. Men on all-women college campuses know that they are quite literally a tiny minority. They navigate the space knowing that women are the socioeconomic and political leaders in this space. And you can see how they respond differently. At least I was able to see that from attending Notre Dame and from attending St. Mary's. Women felt far more comfortable on campus. I remember in the morning, I would always say that women going to classes looked like they just finished fighting a raccoon and the raccoon won. But we felt that way because it was our space. We didn't feel the need to get dressed up really nice to attend classes. Well, some people did dress up really nice, but that was more of their prerogative versus the rest of us who just wanted to go to class. Overall, if you are considering going to college, I would highly recommend that you apply or consider an all-women's college experience. Those 4 years radically changed my life. Those are the years that I met my closest friends of all time and got to discover how life would be if women were the ones who ran the world around us. And I got to learn how to assert myself even more confidently than I do now, and would always recommend that experience to someone else.